American Trucks, and today we are talking to Mason about his 2006 F-150. Just kind of a brief overview of your truck. You have a 2006 STX F-150. You have the Pro Comp 31 Series striker wheels in matte black in an 18 by 9 inch with a 0mm offset. You have the Milestar Patagonia ATR all-terrain tires in a 35 by 12.5 R18, and then you have the MotoFab 3-inch leveling kit. So what made you choose this setup?
Me and my dad, when I got my license here about a year and a half ago, he was a big factor in choosing what to do with it because it was my dad's truck before it was mine. And being that the truck is silver and it's a base model, it's trimmed in all black. So I kind of went with the black on silver color scheme. I don't like the big chrome barrels and everything. I wanted something that looked good. And so I went search for a really long time and I ended up going with the Pro Comps, and my dad, he liked them too. And so we ordered them and I'm just so happy with it.
So jumping into the wheels. So again, you have the Pro Comp 31 Series striker wheels in matte black. They're an 18 by 9 inch wheel with a 0mm offset. What made you choose the wheels specifically? So you told me that you were a fan of the matte black instead of some of those deep dish chrome wheels. Was there anything else that made you choose that wheel?
I just like the look of it. I was just looking at what y'all had on the website and I saw it and it just caught my eye. I was like, that's the ones I want. So that's what I ended up going with. And so far for the past year and about a month, they've been a great setup. They always look good, even if they're dirty.
And what made you choose the simulated beadlock style in comparison to one that maybe doesn't have it?
Being that the beadlocks were chrome, my badges are chrome. So I kind of did it with the beadlocks, being that those are chrome to match the badges. And I ended up getting chrome lugs to put with the wheels.
And then what made you choose an 18-inch wheel specifically?
I kind of wanted a good balance between wheel and tire, and the 18s, I'm happy with them. I have a friend that he got 20-inch, and I didn't want to get 20s. I thought 18 was a good size.
And then you have an aggressive stance, so the tire pokes out from the wheel well a little bit. Why did you choose the 9-inch wide wheel with the 0mm offset for that stance?
Me and my dad, this is another thing, like I said, my dad, we had talked about it, and we like the bulldog stance. It's got just the right amount of poke. I don't like a lot of offset where it's sticking outside the fender well. It's just got the right amount of poke for me, and I like how y'all have on the website that it'll show you how much poke it's gonna have. I liked it, and so that's what I kind of was looking for, and that's what I went with.
And then how do you like the stance compared to the stock one?
100% better. I was driving it for about a month before I got it, and I just hated it. I hated the look of the stock wheels on it. So I gotta do something about this, and I had already been in the process of trying to find a setup long before I even got my license. Finally, when me and my dad got them put on there, it completely changed the look of the truck, and ever since then I've just been happy with it.
Moving into tires, again, you have the Milestar Patagonia ATR all-terrain tires in a 35 by 12.5 R18. Why did you choose this tire?
I just like the look of a big tire. Even though it's a small truck, I like the big beefy tires on it. My dad was telling me, he was like, you know, it's probably gonna rub. And I was like, I don't care. I mean, we'll do some trimming if we got to. So I went with the 35s because I wanted 35s.
And then why did you choose an all-terrain over like a mud terrain or even a street tire?
That was another thing me and my dad had talked about. I take it off-road occasionally, but it's not four-wheel drive, so I don't take it mudding. Most I'll do is take it down a dirt road. We have a lot of national forest around where I live, so all-terrain was just the best option, and I didn't want a street tire because, again, I like the aggressive tread look of it too. So when I saw the Milestars, it was definitely my go-to choice.
How do they drive compared to stock? Are they quiet? Are they loud? What's your experience with the tire so far?
So like a mud grab, how it has that whirring, the all-terrains don't have that. I mean, they have a little bit of a whir, but it's not loud enough that you can hear it, but they handle great. I've never lost traction or anything. I mean, going off-road compared to a street tire, it does great, and compared to a mud grab, it's really the in-between what I really expected and really what I wanted.
So obviously you upgraded to the 35, which is a lot bigger than the stock tire. Is there anything that you had to do in order to like calibrate your speedometer? Did you add a tuner or anything?
I still haven't gotten it calibrated over a year later. Me and my parents, we tested it. When I'm doing about 55, I'm actually doing about 65. I've just kind of been watching myself. I'll kind of base myself off of the other people around the road with me. Tune-wise, I plan on it, just hopefully get some better gas mileage. But other than that, I haven't done any sort of tune. But when we did put them on, I had to go get it aligned and everything because my dad, we did it ourselves.
So let's move into your suspension. So you have the MotoFab 3-inch leveling kit. Why did you choose this leveling kit?
I pretty much bought everything, the tires and the leveling kit at the same time, because I knew I was going to need a leveling kit to fit the 35s. I didn't really want to put a lift kit on it. That might be something I want to do in the future. So when I bought the tires, me and my dad had already talked about it, and we just went ahead and ordered the 3-inch leveling kit with the plan of getting a lift kit in the future. The leveling kit was just what we decided to go with.
So why did you choose 3 inches specifically?
I have a buddy of mine that has the same year of my truck, a 2006, and he put a 2-inch on it, and it still has that nosedive. Just that it's tiny, it's a tiny bit of nosedive, but it's still noticeable. So I did the 3-inch, and it picks it up just a little bit in the front. We measured it's 3/4 inch difference between the front and the back wheel wells. So I'm not considered part of the squat community, but it doesn't have that nosedive, which I'm very happy about because I absolutely despise the look of the nosedive.
And then we talked a little bit about the fitment issues before. So you just had a little bit of rubbing inside the wheel well on like the inner fender liner and then a little bit of the plastic trim.
Yes, ma'am. We ended up having to do just a little bit of trimming. We had to trim a square probably about this big out of the inside of the fender well and a little bit off the bottom lip of the plastic in front of the bumper.
Is that the only modification that you had to do?
Trimming wise, yes, ma'am. That's all I had to do.
And you didn't have any like rubbing after that?
No, ma'am. I've still got about this much from the outside of the truck where we cut it out, and it's probably maybe a good 8 inches by 4-inch little square that we had to cut out on both sides, but nothing major. You can't even see it unless I turn the wheel. And it does not rub whatsoever. I can crank the wheel all the way to the left or right and no rubbing whatsoever.
Overall, how do you like the look of the truck with the 3-inch leveling kit with the wheels and tires?
Absolutely love it, especially for me in high school. How far it's come in a year with everything, all the stuff I've done to it in the past year is just, it blows my mind, and I wouldn't want anything else.
And then usually my last question is, do you have any plans in the future for your build?
I plan on doing a lift kit eventually, but right now I'm happy with it, so I don't really need a lift kit right now.
Well, thank you so much for your time. That kind of wraps up all of my questions and sharing all of your information. Just a quick recap. Again, you have the 2006 STX F-150. You have the Pro Comp 31 striker wheels in matte black in an 18x9 with a 0mm offset, the Milestar Patagonia ATR all-terrain tire in a 35x12.5 R18, and the MotoFab 3-inch leveling kit. Thank you, Mason, again for sharing everything. It was a pleasure speaking with you. And for all things trucks, always keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.